My name is Penny Udo Obong. I have originally been an athlete before. I'm an Olympic gold medalist. I am an Olympic bronze medalist too. So I have 2 Olympic medals from the year 2000 and the year 2004. I am here in Saudi Arabia as a technical advisor for athletics for the Saudi Olympic and Paralympic Committee, Team Saudi. And also when I've been directed to help the development of young athletes in the federation, and the federation has particularly charged me to be in charge of the development of the women's game in Saudi Arabia. So it's an interesting position, and so the first thing we did was to have a strategy, a plan, which we called FAST, F-A-S-T, that's the Female Athletics Strategic Training, so FAST. So this is supposed to expose a lot of women to competition, more camps, better rewards, and ultimately to make sure that they can win medals for Saudi Arabia. I've observed a lot of things in my 1.5 years here in Saudi Arabia, and it's been quite interesting. The first thing I observed when I came around was the difference and the disparity between the male and the female athletics. While the male, there was a lot of reward for the male, the prize monies for the female were small. Also, we found out in the categories, we had lots of categories for the male. We had 5 categories, and initially we had only 3 categories for the female. So the first thing that we had to do was to try and put out some kind of balance so that we can encourage more women to come into the sports. It is understood, and I'm not unaware of the fact that female participation in sports in Saudi Arabia is relatively new. But while we are now accepting that everybody will participate in sports, we cannot be behind the rest of the world. Saudi Arabia has very beautiful and talented women, and that they can be one of the best in the world, but they need to be encouraged, they need to be motivated, and we need to believe in them, because once you give them that belief that they can do it, then they will surprise you. So over the last 1 year, the first thing was to lay out a strategy, and the first strategy was to try to get more clubs involved in recruiting and developing female athletics. It didn't seem so bad, but because in many other sports, the females are quite more developed in their sport than it is in athletics. And we have female footballers doing very well. We have female taekwondo, female boxing. So I feel that it's not the culture, basically, or the history of non-participation that is delaying the women. It's just that the sport has to promote itself more. Athletics, track and field has to promote itself more to the Saudi young girls, to the Saudi families, to the dads and the moms, that athletics is indeed a profitable and a career sport in which their daughters can benefit from. So we had to go through the first thing is orientation, and then the second thing is balancing the divide. So first we had 5 categories for the men and only 3 for the women. And the categories for the men were under 14, under 16, under 18, under 20, and the seniors. There is no reason why the women can't have the same category, because the ages are the same. So when I came, we had only 3, and this year we have 4. And hopefully by the time we come into next year, we'll have 5 categories for the female and 5 for the male. Another disparity I saw, which was the biggest problem, was the disparity in the prize money. And the monies that was set up for prizes in athletics, about 98% went for the men, and only about 2% went for the female. So we have tried to push that up. I have negotiated with the federation, talked to the CEO, who's a very understanding man, to try to push it up. My goal is to get it to be a balance of about 60-40. or if not 50-50. But I understand the challenges, I understand the reasons, but I've been assured that this year it's going to go up to, the prize money will be 85-15. So the women will get up to about 15%. By next year, we hope it will enter into 25 to 30% of the total prize money so that we can move towards parity. Another thing I observed was that there was a reluctance to allow the women to participate in all athletics events. And so the men were choosing the events in which the women were participating. We're only going to do 100 meters, or we're only going to do long jump, or we're only going to do 2 or 3 sports. But that's really not fair. If the men are doing the whole 20 events in athletics, or 22 or 23 events, the women should do the same, because we have women with different characteristics, different skill sets. We have the ones that are tall, we have the ones that are shorter, we have the ones that are bigger, we have the ones that are fast, we have the ones that are distance runners, we have the ones that are jumpers. So we must give them an equal opportunity to participate in all the sports that are available. And so that is something that we are going into. And that is something that now in the female competition, there have been more competition, more events added. And I'm hoping and I'm pushing that by the next season, we will have equal events that men do, that female do. And that's some of the things. On a personal note, I have observed, because I held a little camp for the female athletes, I've observed that the girls want to train. The girls are eager to train. The girls, they're not afraid of hard work, in as much as a lot of the Saudi coaches, a lot of their young coaches, and most of the time have been trying to be very sympathetic and very easy with them in training. But I realized after being in camp with the ladies for about 3 weeks in Kazakhstan that they want to train. They want to train hard. They want to improve, and they believe they can be the best in the world. They can compete with other countries. So one of the things that we're doing now is we had to now, for the first time in Saudi Arabia, develop a national female team strategic plan. And one of those plans is that we'll bring coaches that are female to work with them. Already through the Team Saudi, through the Olympic Committee and the Federation, we have employed 3 female coaches. There's one more coming again this month. And we will have 4 dedicated female coaches that can train the women so that the women can identify and work with them. The young girls have been training with men, and sometimes they may think that, oh, this is for a man, this is not for a woman. But when they see female coaches, not young coaches, training with them and working, training them, I think they'll be more encouraged to do more, and they will also have a kind of friendship with the coaches, because you have to be your coach's friend. And when they see a fellow woman, they'll be very happy to have that. Another thing we have done in the strategy is that we have developed a year plan for the female with camps in between. We're going to have about three camps. The first camp will be in January. We're going to bring, hopefully, we'll bring about 40 of the beautiful, talented girls that have been competing the best in Saudi. We'll carry them. We're bringing them to Ital. We'll bring them to Bisha. They will train in Bisha for 2 weeks during the holidays. There we will sharpen their skills, get them fitter. They will work like a boot camp with the coaches, the female and the male coaches that will bring specifically for them. Then later in the year, I think in May or so, we will bring them again for another 2 or 3 weeks before having a time to carry them. The best that we want to use, or the ones that we want to expose, we'll take them. The female for the first time will have a European camp, because the weather will be so hot. We'll take them to Europe to go and train like the men have been going. And then when we come back, we are hoping that we will start being competitive, especially as we have the Arab Under-18 Athletics Championship coming, I think, and it's part of our plan to get prepared for that. During the year, we'll have lots of competitions that a lot of ladies will be competing in. We will make sure that our girls are active, competing, traveling, so that they can be very, very competitive and they can be up to date. And also, we will also make sure that for the first time, we will have Saudi female relay teams competing in competitions in 4x100, 4x400, in the medley relay, whatever it is. So that's the plan for our female team, and we are hoping that this is the beginning, so that in the next 3 or 4 years, we'll start having we will have one or two, not just one, two, three Asian champions or Olympians from the female track and field.